roasting, probably getting a bit more toasted, and it's only us two dudes. And I'm Brently. I bring the crazy, while Benjamin provides the puns. We're not afraid to say it plainly. We're a couple anti-fascist dudes fighting right-wing extremist views. The Progressive House Podcast.
That's right. We are two blueberries. We are two lefties living in the worst places for righties to live. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Just a couple of lefties in righty territory.
Are we still doing this podcast?
We are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure.
So far, it looks like it anyway.
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, I am here.
Oh, good. Me too. I'm here too.
So
As well. I was gonna try like for the first time. So this would be like our first time doing what I'm calling a Dick Grifter, right? So Dick Grifter of the week. I don't know if you know how to dive a Dick Grifter, but you talk about how shitty they are, and that's how you dive a Dick Grifter.
okay, so you're saying Dick Grifter, not Dick Grafter. So
No,
we're not putting dicks on things.
Right.
Okay.
No, Dick Grifter. He's a grifter and he's a dick. And we're gonna make him dive. So,
Is the term Dick Grifter kind of redundant? I mean, like,
well, it just sounds like stick shifter, and so it's kind of
Stick
funny.
shifter.
You don't know how to drive stick shifter. So I just felt like it all felt
just grinding the clutch right now.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
But
All right, who's this Dick Grifter? Since we're doing this,
this is somebody who he holds a special place in my heart, honestly, because he was someone that I believed like that I actually listened. I listened to his records. He was a comedian. My parents knew about him and everything, and so he's kind of near and dear to my heart because he's scared the fuck out of me, like just straight up.
So what you're saying, he wasn't funny?
I mean, there's times where he was funny. He's like Gallagher funny. Okay, so he steals a lot of his shit from Gallagher.
Broken clock is right twice a day, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But his name's Mike Warnke. He's a comedian. His early life, he was born in 1946. He has a really tragic past. Actually, I kind of feel bad for him in a way, as far as what happened to his parents. He lost both his parents at a very young age into a car accident. And his father died, or his mom died in a car accident, and then his father died of some type of illness or something after that. He moved to this. He graduated from this place called Rim of the World High School, which I swear to God is a fucking movie that's out right now, called Rim of the World on Netflix. It's about an alien invading a camp. Aliens invading a camp.
So not that kind of rim.
No, not the fun kind. Not that kind of rim, unfortunately. But he did. But he was from Lake Arrowhead, which sounds awesome. That sounds cool too. But anyway, so he went to the he did boot camp. He was in the United States Navy. He was assigned a military occupational specialty, I guess. and basically it was a hospital corpsman. Of course, that has changed over time. Like it's what he did in the military has changed several different times and things. Like he's a fucking liar. Like he just keeps on lying, about everything. Anyway, so he does these comedy sets, right? Where he's like, he comes up and he does like the why do we drive on parkways and park on driveways, like that.
Hilarious.
Yeah, just yeah, real genius, where I'm telling you, most of the shit that he's done he stole from Gallagher. He just did. He did a book called The Satan Seller, and this is really what got him to take off. Was this book in 1972? The Satan Seller was released by Warnke with the help of ball singer and Les Jones. The book tells more of Warnke being orphaned as a child and in his introduction into Satanism.
Oh.
Yeah.
Plot twist.
Yo. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a lot of plot twists. So that's sort of his whole bag. His whole bag is Satanism. Right?
No, you're missing a very important part here because it's like, if you look at the details of his Satanism, he's bragging.
Yes.
The details is participation in sexual orgies, alcoholism, and drug dealing.
It's fucking weird, right? Isn't that a weird thing to brag about? But it's like, when you're a Christian and you're making like your rounds as like your testimony, right? Like everybody wants like the best testimony, right?
Oh yeah.
Like you want to be the guy. Man, I wish I wasn't addicted to crack. Man, this sucks.
But basically, no. So what you do is you tell this great story where you're like, I am such a devout Christian. I turned away from all of the cool stuff like orgies and drugs.
Right. Yeah, basically. And so this dude had like records, right? And I remember my mom had the actual like vinyl record of, and I want to say it was something, maybe I don't think it was the Satan Seller, but he did in the middle. So he did like his comedy, right? And he it's like I said, like, why don't we park on driveways and drive on parkways, that type of stuff. And then all of a sudden, boom, right in the middle, he just starts talking about this little girl who got like murdered and sacrificed or sexually assaulted, then murdered and sacrificed to Satan, and explained the ritual just in the middle of his fucking comedy set.
Okay, and he was complicit in this, at least.
Yes. Well, I mean, yes, he was complicit in the murder and the rape of this little girl. Turns out, none of this was real. None of this was true. He wasn't even a Satanist. Yeah, because why the fuck would you go around bragging about the actual serial killer crimes that you've done?
Right. That's the next level. It's not like, oh yeah, I stole this pen from a Walmart one time when I was 14.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this isn't like a crime that you can just admit to like years later. Like this, I don't think there's a statute of limitations when it comes to rape and murder. But yeah, so basically, the Satan Seller was his big, that was like his big book. That was like it ended up being, it became a religious bestseller. The book launched Warnke into stardom within evangelical Christian communities. He became a popular speaker at Christian meeting places such as Melodyland in Anaheim, California in 1974. Now, I remember my parents talking. I didn't see him live, but I remember my parents talking about seeing him live. And so these are, and then he also had recordings and wives. So apparently he's had multiples of both, both recordings and wives. But the funny thing about this is like, so here's his extravagant claims. Let's go there. In 1982, Warnke began to exaggerate his achievements. During the 1980s, his claims of academic degrees increased from 2 bachelor degrees to 2 master's degrees to a doctorate of philosophy. Why,
It's cool, Brent. I have 47 doctorates.
What the fuck? Like, first of all, who gets a doctorate of philosophy? That seems just like that's like a waste of a doctorate right there.
I really, really, really love the pre-internet age Grift. It was so much easier. He could show up and do a speech in one place and say all kinds of stuff. And then when he's on the other side of the country, you can be like, I said I had 2 bachelors. You know what? Actually, it's 3 masters. Wait, no. So I didn't bring this up before. I have a doctorate in philosophy.
Actually, it's a doctorate in philosophy. So
I've done a lot of thinking up here in this brain of mine.
I mean, I've done doctor level thinking about thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's insane. It's insane. Just believe me. Everything I've said is true.
He says he was wounded twice while in Vietnam. And it's in his book, In Hitchhiking on Hope Street. Hitchhiking on Hope Street. That's the name of the book. He said that he had been wounded 5 times. He followed up his interest in the Syro-Chaldean tradition and his 1970s ordination as a deacon with a 1983 ordination by independent bishop Richard Morrill. Basically, he just keeps on just adding shit, to his.
Yeah. All right, get to the good part here, the investigation and debunking.
So the investigation and debunking. So get this. Now, in 1991, Cornerstone magazine. So this isn't Hemet Meta. This isn't the Friendly Atheist. This isn't anyway. It's Cornerstone, which it's a magazine. I'm mostly familiar with Cornerstone because they basically would put on this. It was like Woodstock, but it was all Christian bands, right? And you'd stay outside for like 3 days, and it was just like 3 days of like rock bands and shit, right? It was
That had to be the lamest shit ever.
It was pretty fun, but I mean, for what it was fun. I got to see Living Sacrifice that way, so it was pretty.
Oh
yeah, they're good. I mean, if you're into metal, they're a solid band. Anyway, so apparently they've got a magazine. They launched an investigation into Warnke's life and testimony. The previous year, the magazine had debunked Lauren Statford's story that had been recounted in her book, Satan's Underground. Because you got to remember, this was right in the middle of the Satanic Panic. But I think that Cornerstone was starting to be kind of become privy to the fact that all this satanic stuff isn't real. It's all just bullshit, and I think they started to figure that out because they started out with her and debunked her Satan's Underground book, where she claimed her deep involvement in Satanism led her to partake in a ritual in which her own child was sacrificed.
Oh.
What the fuck, dude?
Once again, complicit in the murder.
Right, of your own child. Like that you go to jail. I don't think there's a statute of limitations for that, man.
I don't know.
I don't either. But yeah, so after the expose showed Statford's alleged child had never even existed, Cornerstone journalist Mike Hertenstein and John Trott investigated Warnke and his claims. The Cornerstone investigation spanned from interviews with over 100 of Warnke's personal friends and acquaintances to his ministry's tax receipts. It revealed a number of inaccuracies and evidence of fraud and deceit in Warnke's accounts.
What? I am shocked and surprised.
I know, right? During the course of Cornerstone's investigation, pictures of Warnke taken during the time he was alleged to be a Satanist priest were discovered, rather than showing the uh, a emaciated drug addict sporting long fingernails, long hair, all this shit. Instead of seeing that, you see a typical square, they say, of the mid 1960s. The investigation also revealed Warnke's claims that he and Charles Manson had
Oh, they like
attended.
be friends? Did they like hug all the time, high five each other?
Yeah, right. Apparently, they had attended a satanic ritual together. You know, and but Manson was in federal prison at the time, having no ties to the satanic churches at all. He just
Okay.
completely made it
No,
up.
no. Didn't you know that Charles Manson has Satan powers, so he can transfer his mind into someone else who was
Oh,
at that satanic ritual with him? So Manson was there.
he can astro project his brain like
Yeah,
Dark Tower style into like one
sure.
of the three doors. Okay,
Yeah,
cool. Okay, I can see that.
yeah. Well, actually, Charles Manson's here right now. He's in my brain.
Oh shit. Well,
Yeah,
can you get him out? Tell him to
I'm
stand to
working
the
on
back of the hallway, please, so that he can't take over.
I got it. Okay.
That's a deep cut for Dark Tower fans out there. Anyway, the investigation further uncovered that before joining the Navy, Warnke had been involved with the college Christian ministry Campus Crusade for Christ. The investigation also revealed the unflattering circumstances surrounding Mike Warnke's multiple marriages, affairs, and divorces regarding one Christian intervention attempt.
Okay.
The
Let me jump
cornerstone
in here real
article
quick.
states, huh?
Okay, so it's the Campus Crusaders of Christ. I guarantee you they spelled that with a K, each of those.
The campus.
There's a
Crusaders.
reason that they were the CCC, Campus Crusaders for Christ. There's a reason that they added
Yeah.
all those together, and I guarantee you they spelled that with a K.
Yeah, because that's. I
Maybe,
mean, dude,
maybe not in public, but in private they did. They were like,
yeah, right. That's like their inside joke. Yeah.
yeah, they knew what they were doing.
The KKK is a Christian organization. People don't ever want to
It is so Christian.
realize it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
super fucking Christian. It's just white and Christian. That's all. But yeah, I thought that was just very interesting because I remember the stories that my mom would tell me, and she told me that once he became saved, right? Once this Mike Warnke became saved, he would get woken up in the middle of the night because demons would throw him out of his bed at night.
Oh yeah, because they wanted him back real bad.
Oh yeah, they were mad, that he was doing the Christian thing. and
He's
not-
so powerful that
I
they
know.
wanted his soul. And then imagine though,
Yeah.
imagine being a Christian grifter and essentially being taken down by Cornerstone magazine.
Right. The magazine best known for its yearly festival of 200 bands.
Of Christian rock.
Yeah. That's where I first saw POD.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was right around that time that Satellite album came out. And they ended up having to change the cover because it was the Twin Towers with fire all over them or something like that.
Yeah, I can imagine why they would have made that choice.
Yeah, because they're probably like, hey, we didn't tell them to do that or anything. You know what? Let's get a new cover.
I'm actually surprised they didn't use that to their advantage.
Right? Yeah,
To say that they're prophets and they knew.
That's true.
But because people didn't listen to God's word, they weren't able to stop it.
But they probably couldn't get around those people that were like, no, you caused it. You took the control of the power of Satan and made it happen. Because those people would be there.
Hail Satan.
Of course, I'll see. But so pretty much, as soon as this all came out, Warnke sent a response to Cornerstone, published in July, insisting he told the truth, stating, "I stand by my testimony of being delivered and set free by the power of Jesus Christ after being a satanic high priest, exactly as published in the book. They say Satan seller." Some of the information was purposely changed to protect the privacy of certain individuals and to
Oh,
prevent readers from using the book as a guide for occultism and satanic purposes. But as we stated in the front of the book, the events are absolutely as described.
okay.
But once this all came out, it was over. He was kind of just disappeared in obscurity.
Right, because it's blatantly obvious he was full of crap.
Yup, straight up. It was full of shit. Knew it would be easier to make it as a comedian if he stuck some weird shit about sacrificing children in the middle of it, and only talk to churches, It's just like when MXPX says that they got into the Christian music industry. Why did they get into the Christian music industry? Because it's easier to get into than the non-Christian music industry,
Right.
And you only have to be like half good, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you just had to sing about God.
Pretty much, yeah. Seriously, I mean that is, as long as you got songs about God, nobody gives a shit how good you are.
Like blatantly about God, not even subtly. They have to be blatantly about God.
Yeah. Yeah. Like hard, like about God, like hard
Like,
up.
praise be to him, God, our almighty God. Praise be to him.
Yes. What is it? Praise be.
I don't know. I'm just making shit up at the top of my
Oh,
head.
I thought that was that fucking Handmaid's Tale, which we are basically living in at this point.
We're getting there. We're getting there, aren't we?
In our two states, that's for sure. I mean, your state for sure when it comes to the fucking abortion access,
I mean, not just here. It's happening everywhere. It's happening in Ohio. It's happening all around. That's what they're doing. Is they're throwing things purposefully at it, intentionally in every state, so that they can actually challenge it.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's insane. I don't. Here we go.
Yeah, what you got?
Oh man, we got all sorts of shit. This is where is he? It's that crazy dude from Right Wing Watch. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. This guy who does guy things.
Yeah, the manly man with the manly man things.
Yes.
Yes. Hold on, let me change this. There we go. That's better. All right, let's see what this dude has to say.
Free speech is making a comeback, and free speech is prevailing, and free speech is going to be ascendant because people should have the right to say whatever they want if it's funny and if it's righteous.
Now, this is something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. Maybe I can pick your brain on this a little bit. I am not a free speech absolutist. Like by definition, I think that once we
Why the fuck is he like in the backseat of a moving vehicle?
Because he's that important.
Was he being moved from place to place like he's in Get Smart or something?
I guarantee you that this is 100% intentional, because look at how important he is. He's in a car. He's in a large car. We look at the camera angle, right? This is
Right.
probably some sort of limousine. He probably ordered a limousine just to do this interview, so that you could see how big, special, and important he is. But
Yeah,
look at how law abiding he is with a seatbelt on.
Oh yeah, that's true. Plus that's a lot of room from, you know what I mean, in order to get the camera there and be able to show you from that close. You know what I mean? Like
These cameras are small these days. You can get a small camera in there. It's fine.
that's true, but it definitely looks better than a laptop. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
it's a nice camera. You can see it's a nice camera. It's mounted well. That's why I also believe this is just complete setup baloney. Because it's not like he's just sitting there holding like his phone on a Zoom meeting in the car, or
Right.
he set his phone on the headrest, like tied it up there somehow so he could record this. This is an intentionally set up shot.
Yeah.
Somebody got a limo, set up a camera in it, checked it, made sure everything was golden, and then recorded it while he was driving.
Wow,
On
yeah.
purpose.
On purpose, absolutely. Yeah.
There's no way he didn't have any other time to do this interview at any other time. He's like, we've got to do this from the car. It's the only way it's going to work. No, he's like, get this. I got this. All right. So for my brand image, everyone must think that I'm important.
I'm constantly on the move.
I'm going to be in this car.
I'm doing grassroots. Like shit, man. Like I'm doing the real deal, boots on the ground, grassroots activism, bro. Okay.
Yeah, bro.
I don't got time to be like stop in the car for an interview. Okay.
And no one got time for that. I'm doing this from a car.
Once we're
I
in
know.
power, I want to censor the opposition completely. What do you think about that?
Well, we'll have that conversation when we're in power, but there's a phase one first. So.
Yeah. I mean, right now, like right now in this moment, I'm 100% a free speech absolutist. But my mind's probably going to change once Nick Fuentes becomes president.
Oh my god. Nick Fuentes becomes
Okay.
president.
No, so listen to this absolute nightmare of a person who says, I'm not a free speech absolute, or whatever he said, right? He's only for free speech if he can say what he wants, but he doesn't want to extend that to anyone else.
But he wants the other side to be quiet because he's saying he is a free speech absolutist right now so that he can say whatever he wants to say. But the second that they have power, and they're Nick Fuentes is the president of the world or whatever, Captain Planet, whatever, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
Then they're going to take away anybody who disagrees with them their right to speak.
Because that's healthy.
Which of course is like any black and brown people. I mean, really, honestly,
just stomp down any sort of dissenting opinion.
Yeah,
that's healthy. That's going to do you real well.
And those are mostly the opinions that they're going to be stomping.
You know what that's called? Fascism.
That's right.
I'm all for that. I would vote for that. Free speech is making a comeback, and free speech is prevailing, and free speech is going to be ascendant because people should have the right.
The whole point is you wouldn't have the right to vote because you're saying, it's like, yeah, I'd vote for that. What, you'd vote for like having free speech half the time?
Wait, so you keep pausing it, and I'm not even certain he's actually driving on a street.
Oh, is he just parked somewhere?
No. It's moving, but I think it's looping.
Oh.
Right to say whatever they want if it's funny and if it's righteous.
Now, this is something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. Maybe I can pick your brain on this a little bit. I am not a free speech absolutist. Like, by definition, I think that once we're in power, I want to censor the opposition completely. What do you think about that?
He's moving.
Well, we'll have that conversation when we're in power, but there's a phase one first. So.
Keep going.
Yeah. I mean, right now,
that is so freaky, man. How fascist, like just unbelievably fascist.
It's Nightmare Town.
It really is. I mean, that's just being blatant. Like, no, I want to take your rights away, dude.
So
like,
that's the thing is, if literally if we said to them that they couldn't say what they want to say, then
Yeah.
we're the terrible bad man. We're not good. We're the fascists.
Yeah.
And that's what they do say that about us when we're like, you can't say things that are super hateful or like homophobic or racist. Like you can't say those things. Yes, you can say those things. Anybody can say whatever the hell they want to say, come out of your mouth. But there's this really, really crazy thing that you may have heard of called consequences.
Yeah.
And they
It's
think free speech means to speak with zero consequence.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, they think that, they should just be able to say whatever they want and not allow anybody else to use their First Amendment right to say what they think about what they just said. That's the whole
Right.
point, right? It's like they want consequence-free speech. That's what it is. They don't want
Yeah,
free speech. They want consequence-free speech.
They don't want to be canceled
Right.
because they said that the brown person was bad.
Exactly.
Or because they said, terrible things about trans people or, queer people, anything. Like they do it all the time. And when we're calling them on it, they're like, but I have free speech. I should be able to say whatever I want.
Right.
Because I have my opinions and you can't tell me what my opinions are. And them's is facts. Wait, are they opinions or facts? Well, no, those are my opinions, but them's is facts. And you're like, okay, whatever works for you. But please
Right.
shut up. I mean, tell me your opinion on whether or not we should tax the rich. Tell me your opinions on, how we should vote this way or that way, if we should put money into infrastructure. Let's have those kinds of discussions.
It's open.
I'm all for that.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah, I mean, but we need to be able to have the conversation in order to be able to decide what conversations we can or cannot have. You have to at least open the door enough to, be able to have those conversations.
Right. But that doesn't mean you can just say outright hateful things to people and get away with it.
Right.
Not have to deal with it. Because there's going to be consequences if you run a business.
Hello?
Mute it.
Okay.
All right. So it's just me, and I'm the only one talking, and that's cool. Should just be awkwardly quiet. That would be great, right? Everyone loves listening to quiet, don't they? Let me see.
Yeah.
All right. Brent's come back. You returned.
Yeah.
I was toying with the idea of not saying anything at all while you were gone, and just sit here in awkward silence for anyone listening. Doesn't look like we have anyone watching live currently, which is strange. Where the hell are you? I miss you.
Right.
But someone may listen to this afterwards, and there's going to be like a brief moment of awkward silence, thanks to me.
No, that's all right. I can edit that down.
Why would
Nikki
you
got locked out. She wants me to get so used to like locking the door every time I come in, but then I lock the door when she's still out there sometimes. That's the downside of
that's on you.
Making a habit.
That's on you. That's on you, Brent. That's on you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it wasn't the other way, then
you should get one of those smart locks that you can unlock with your phone. Or your thumbprint. They have thumbprint ones. They have ones with a keypad.
Oh, yeah.
Might be worth the investment.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I don't know how that type of stuff works.
Science. Our true Lord and Savior.
Right?
Science.
Exactly. Our true Lord and Savior of science. What is this?
What else you got for me, Brent? You got more videos? You got more magic? What you got?
So we got Idaho Lieutenant Governor Janice McGeechan. I've never even heard of this. Janice McGeechan or McGeechan? I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Was here, I'll show the screen. Was pictured with a white nationalist Holocaust denier who said he has deep connections to her.
No.
And this is a lawmaker in America.
Are we surprised?
I mean, I guess we shouldn't be at this point, but you know, I still am when people are this out and proud of white nationalism, and you know, are still getting seats. You know, it's insane.
But how much information do we actually have on this? Because I rarely do this, but I'm going to be that guy right now. So there's a picture of her with a person, right? So she probably at some point was campaigning or out in public, took a picture with somebody. And then this guy goes, oh, yeah, of course I know her. Real close, real tight. But does it actually mean anything? Or is he just saying it?
Right. Well, let's see what he says. So here's his version.
Oh, there's a video.
Yeah.
Do we want to watch this video?
I hope it's okay.
Based on the title, it sounds terrible. Delivered a misogynistic and anti-Semitic rant
of the disinformation on board DHS, calling her.
No, I don't even want to. I don't even want to give this guy airtime. Yeah. This is not even worth it.
I've never even heard of the guy, so yeah. All right.
Thankfully.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to see that kind of hate.
But I mean, just the fact that she does have ties to people like that, you know. I mean,
but that's the thing is, do we know that she actually has ties? Because one picture out in public means nothing. It's not like a picture at her house or in her backyard at a pool party. It's a picture out in public. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, at the same time, it's like those pictures, the reason those pictures do well is because having those connections actually does help her base. You know what I mean? Having those connections to those pieces of shit actually do help their base.
Maybe she does. And I'm not saying she doesn't, but one picture in public is not proof. And I don't ever want to be that person where I'm like, haha, I got it. Smoking gun. There you go. Yeah. It's totally you. And she had pictures with this guy and like the KKK leader and some other hate group guy. Then it'd be like, okay, well, what? She's a giant pile of shit. But one guy, well, I'm going to keep an eye on her. But that's not proof.
No, one picture isn't ever proof. But I mean, you know, it's Right Wing Watch. I feel like it's pretty, you know, due diligence for the most part.
Pretty well vetted, but that's all Right Wing Watch is really saying was that she was pictured with this guy, and this guy said, "I've got close ties with her. Relationship runs deep."
Yeah. Complaint. So this is and Lauren Witzke. This is another. So the Delaware GOP's candidate for Senate 2020 appeared on a program called No White Guilt. That's the name of the program that she was on. It's called No White Guilt, where she spent an hour complaining that the anti-white system is allowing her white heritage to be destroyed by, and I'm not even going to say that word, but you know,
well, that word's fine because it's the way she uses the word. She says destroyed by animals. So literally, very literally dehumanizing.
Yeah, this
which is insane
group of people. So let's see. Let's look at these guys. Of course, these guys are fucking.
I mean, that guy.
They are. You're white.
White Christian males or white straight males are the most persecuted class demographic in the United States of America right now, especially in the workplace. The anti-white system that advocates for us,
Wow.
people like us,
Wow.
to not have a voice. To not
Those words
have any
actually
rights,
came out of her mouth.
considering us like second.
Yeah, I know. The white straight male is the most persecuted in America.
Does she even understand what the actual meaning of the word persecuted means?
I think it's just like, I think she thinks it means like just being able to like, say, you can make fun of white people. Like that's fine.
Oh, okay. So you know
that
what she's doing here. So what she's doing here is taking a literal page out of the Mormon playbook, because I grew up Mormon, and what they teach you when you're growing Mormon, or when the Mormon missionaries come to your door and they teach you about the history of the church, is that the Mormons were persecuted wherever they were. So they had to keep moving because they had the truth, and they were persecuted for having the truth. And that's how true it is that so many people were just angry that they had the truth and they had this good church. But when you actually look at the real history, they were persecuted because, the founder of the church, Joseph Smith, was doing things like committing bank fraud.
Mhm.
And they were also, get this, trying to start their own socialist government, which upset people.
Ooh, yeah, you don't want that. Yeah. Well, they were trying to, and they were almost doing like what the Church of Scientology is doing to Clearwater, where they're just basically buying up all the land and then just declaring it their area. It's their religious.
That's a whole different thing. That's just them buying up land that no one wants anyway. It's Clearwater. Let's be real.
Clearwater had the top beaches in the world voted a couple years ago. But
really?
Yeah.
By who? Clearwater, Florida itself?
Clearwater newspaper, yeah. No, I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
yeah, exactly.
No, they've actually had really nice beaches.
This is a tactic, and they know it 100% what they're doing here. Their whole point is like, we're persecuted. We are so persecuted. So the craziest part to me is this is a woman saying that white men are the most persecuted group.
Right. Yeah, a
woman
woman saying that. This lady
makes it more like, that's just an extra level of insane. But my whole point behind all of this is that persecution, number one, is a persecution complex, right? I am uncomfortable. So since I am uncomfortable, people are persecuting me.
Right.
And secondly, it goes into, if we say that we're persecuted, perhaps people will have a soft spot for us.
Right.
So it's like multi-layered. It's like they're being persecuted. Things are changing. Things aren't just changing. We're not learning to be better as men. We're not, throwing off toxic masculinity. We're not doing any of that. No, we're being persecuted.
Exactly.
The straight white male is being persecuted.
Yeah, it's the Illuminati thing of the Nazis. You know what I mean? Back in the day, it was like the Nazis were like clearly the bullies here, but they had to figure out a way to make up and make it that the Jewish people were like the bad guys and all this and that, right? So they made up the Illuminati, the most powerful families all just happen to be Jewish, and that was like the way they could get away with their persecution complex, even though they were clearly the aggressor the entire time,
And the final point about all this is that the use of the word persecution is part of the thing they've been doing for some time on the right, which is their trigger words that make people angry. They're like persecution, critical race theory. And when you actually ask anybody to define these things exactly, they can't do it. They're like, it's a bad.
Yeah, usually every time I've heard somebody answer that, they usually just say, "Oh, it teaches that everybody's racist. Everybody that's white is racist." That's like what it.
That's not it at all.
It doesn't say that. No, that's completely made up. There's nothing to do with that at all. Yeah, let's see if she might even actually explain it here. I don't know.
Who
Class
knows?
citizens that don't deserve rights is what they kind of try to treat us as. They think
No.
the system, the anti-white system, is going to spare them too, and it is not. This
Oh,
anti-white system, it's coming for all of us. People are starting to notice more and more that every commercial is trying to push some kind of degeneracy on you, something anti-white on you. If you don't notice, if you haven't noticed,
Whoa,
I mean,
whoa,
everybody's
whoa.
starting to
hold
notice.
on.
It's
Yeah,
all
wait,
part of a
hold on.
giant humiliation.
No, it's just showing more of America. Like
She literally just said that anything that is not white America is degeneracy.
yeah, basically. I mean, I think it's hard to tell if she's talking about whiteness or if she's talking about straightness.
She's talking
Because-
about straightness here. Let's be real. That's
Right.
probably her main focus because all the commercials out where it's like, oh my god, the goldfish commercial or the Cheez-Its commercial, I forget which one it was, has 2 dads in it.
Mhm.
And then there's the Campbell soup one too. It's like 2 dads. Oh my god. It's the grossest thing I've ever seen. So I went, okay. I'm not gonna ruin things with spoilers here, but I'm gonna talk about the most recent Doctor Strange movie.
Okay.
I'm in the theater. This is Texas, right?
Right.
And so one of the characters, the America Chavez, I forget exactly. That should be her name, right?
Yeah.
The new character they introduce.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, she talks about her 2 moms.
Oh.
So she's like, my mom's, and there was this lady to the right of me who goes,
Wow.
the second they mentioned she had 2 moms, like, wait, you didn't see that pin on her jacket? Because you're just missing out.
Wow. Wait, she had a pin?
Yeah, it was like some sort of pride flag.
Oh, yeah. But just the mention of it, huh?
Yes, just to
enough.
mention that she had moms, and then they cut to the scene of the moms, and this lady audibly was like upset because the brown girl had moms.
Jesus Christ. That's ridiculous. Wow.
Oh yeah, it was insane.
Because they
I'm
look
surprised
at
she didn't get up right then and walk out. I think she might have if she didn't have her kid with her.
Right, that's and it probably went right over the kid's head. It's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, who
The kids
cares?
don't actually care, you know.
No.
It's like I always say, like they're like, oh, but we have to explain this to our kids. No, you don't. All you got to do is say that, hey, sometimes boys like boys, you know, and sometimes girls like girls. The thing that you don't want to have to explain is the fact that you hate them for it.
Right.
That's what the part they don't want to have to explain.
Well,
But yeah,
okay, so it's not hard to explain because you've explained how some people have a mom and a dad and a stepmom and a stepdad. That's not difficult to explain to your children. You're not like, oh, my children were so confused by these divorced parents showing up together to the school play. Oh,
yeah.
They were just so put out and it was so difficult to explain to my child. What can I ever do? It's the same thing. I don't care. They have 2 moms. They've got 2 dads. They've got 2 moms and 3 dads. Good for them.
So what? Yeah, exactly. It's just
Why do you care that much?
Well, and it's because they automatically it's weird. They only do when it comes to any type of alternative lifestyle. It goes straight to sex. Even though, you know, if they saw a straight couple, they wouldn't be like, oh, now I'm just automatically picturing them having sex.
Right.
like 2 old people can hug and be affectionate all day long. Nobody gives a shit. You know what I mean? Nobody's thinking like that. But 2 guys do it, you know, that are of just, you know, younger age.
But
And it's all about that.
Let's be real. The old people are fucking. Do you know how
They
rampant
are. Yeah.
STIs are in nursing homes?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because the old people are fucking.
Yeah, and they don't really care about protection at that point.
No.
You know?
No, they sure don't.
They're kind of over it by then.
Yeah.
You know. But it's just funny.
But I get your point though, because the whole point is when like you get a man and a woman together and They're just there. Nobody's like, those two are doing weird sex stuff in their bedroom.
Yeah. Nobody's
Which
saying
they
anything
could
like
be
that. Easily. Yeah.
easily.
But
the second you get like two dudes together, like, what kind of depravity is going on here?
yeah, I can't see these two without picturing sex.
Which makes you wonder why, when you see two dudes together, are you thinking about them banging?
Right. Well, yeah, that seems to be more on you, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you're the one doing this, not
Maybe you should evaluate those feelings because it's okay.
right.
Just be who you are. Be who you are.
So this is where it's getting kind of freaky here. We got, let's see. Let me share this.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me being freaky.
Well, yeah, I mean, you are pretty freaky.
Okay.
But so this is, overturning of Roe is just the beginning. Right when we watch.
Are you literally bringing this up like 10 minutes before we're done? Roe versus Wade. Really?
Yeah, I know. It's a very short, easy
Damn
subject to cover. So I figured we could just, knock it out real fast. But
get an abortion for fun at your own fucking body.
yeah, basically, and so the reason that I'm bringing this up right this late because we do have a couple of people watching, and we really need to get everybody to come back out tomorrow night. We are going to have a discourse and disagreement episode, a D&D episode, if you will, that has nothing to do with the game, but it's discourse and disagreement. And I say that because it's not really a debate. It's a conversation between four people who all disagree with one another. And, Chris Christensen in Dallas will be in agreement on, probably overturning Roe v. Wade. But that's probably the only thing they're going to have in common. Because I don't even think Dallas is a Christian, So it's going to be quite interesting.
All I can tell you is Dallas is a contrarian.
He's a contrarian, yes. Oh, yes. That is his whole thing, his whole bag.
Yeah, literally it.
But yeah, definitely make sure to come out same time tomorrow night. We are going to be having the two of us versus the two of them, and I'm really hoping that I can get somebody to maybe fact check for us as we go through, because that's the one thing that makes this the most difficult. Is he can literally just make shit up, and there's nothing I can do about it. You know what I mean? Unless we have
fact check it.
A fact checker. Yeah, we need.
See, I'm quick with the internet. You know that about me.
Well, then maybe he can do it, because I'm I have a hard time trying to do that while I'm debating, while I'm still like looking. I was going to see if I could get somebody to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's hard, to do all that at the same time.
This is what you roped me into, Brent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to deal with tomorrow. Okay.
That's right. And then the D&T 2 will be, I guess, me against the Fruit Thought Prophets on that Sunday.
Because I can't make it because I'm a jerk. I'm just some kind of jerk who won't make it to things.
It's so hard to get, both of them at the same time because John's in fucking Ireland. And so he's like 20 hours off, so it's like, it's really hard to get us all on at the same time. So that's why I don't want to reschedule again. But next time, that's all right. We'll keep doing more of these,
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to Michael Wiseman and maybe just see if I can get him to send me his sloppy seconds, and
exactly. Just keep adding on. Just take whatever you can get.
He gets some good ones too. Have you ever listened to that show? The Bible Says What?
Like a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he gets people to agree to go on that show, honestly. Because, I mean, he's a really sweet guy, but he just sort of tells it how it is, and that it's absurd, the things these people
because everyone thinks that they're better than that, and they can just catch him in a got you moment. Like, I got you.
Yeah.
Like, because I know I'm just real good at this. I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him real good.
And they never do. They never, ever do.
No.
they always sound so confused. You know, he asks like one question about the Bible because he gets them to agree to something in the Bible, right? And then goes, but isn't that evil? You know? And then they're like, well, hold on now. I gotta think about this for him. Hold on now. Shoot. Well, if God does it, it's okay. You know, it's like it's really funny, you know, to watch him like dance, you know. It's like-
Right. God murders the firstborn of every person. That's fine. They didn't put the lamb's blood above their door, so they
God
deserve
couldn't,
it.
yeah, God couldn't tell him not to murder his own people because they forgot.
But
to put
abortion,
blood
that's
on
wrong.
them. Right, right. Even though it's in Numbers chapter 5. You know, I guess they don't
I
call
know
it abortion, but
we are
still.
all really well read on that particular verse at this point, because it is a great stopping point where you're like, well, how about this? And they're like, well, that's a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I don't think a lot of people know about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they know that it's like a forced miscarriage. It's in the Bible, and
Hence an abortion.
But yeah, I mean, what else could you call it? You know, it's an abortion, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, and that's only if the man even just thinks that she is pregnant from somebody who is not her husband. You know, if he just believes that, he can force her to have an abortion.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
then there's, of course, the other Bible quotes talking about how life begins at first breath, essentially.
Mhm.
So that's a whole nother set of arguments when
Yeah,
they're
3 breaths or some shit. You know, it's like the 3 breath rule or something like that. Which I think makes more sense anyway. I'm like, you know, if I don't know any beings that don't breathe air that I would consider having personhood. You know what I mean? I feel like
Sure.
it's a pretty, you know, solid distinction. You know, beings that don't breathe air and beings that do breathe air, you know.
Yeah.
And you're trying to argue the one that is not independent and doesn't even breathe air, and you're trying to argue it has personhood. That just to me makes no sense. That's an equivocation fallacy. You're changing definitions to serve your argument.
Right. Well, I mean, I could say that the same thing about a tumor in your body.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
It's a cellular growth. I don't know what it's going to turn into.
It's technically human, right?
It's made of human cells.
Right? Yeah.
So
So,
what happens when I take it out? Is that murdering something? Was it going to turn into a human? I don't know. Maybe.
right. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, that's you know, I that's why it's all about consent. You know, it's all about consenting, having this thing inside of you. You know,
And I recognize that that's a poor argument, but
I don't think it is though, because I mean, a lot of times they argue that it is human DNA and it's human this and human that. You know, and it's like so is fucking cancer, man. Cancer is
if
human.
I'm countering that side, then yes,
Right.
cancer meets that same definition. But I always hate making that sort of, equivocation essentially on that, saying, well, if you're saying this, then this is this. And that's why I don't like going there as an argument. Like joking around with just me and you where we agree, that's one thing. But like in an actual like debate or argument, I don't think I would actually use that.
Yeah, probably use something a little different, like maybe like the violinist or something like that. It's probably a better example. You know,
Yeah,
same kind of thing, same concept. You know, it's just instead of a cancer, it's a violinist that's hooked up to you. You know,
What about like a gross smell machine? Why is it going to be a violinist? Like, let's get just more absurd than this, right?
well,
What
like
if there was like a machine that just latched itself onto you and randomly it would just like make these fucking shrill noises, make these stinks, like shoot poop out of it?
oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Right?
yeah. It'd have to
And
be like human too, but yeah.
but does it have to be human? Let's say it's a sentient robot, and the only way it's going to survive is by pulling blood out of you
Right.
and your nutrients. It's the only way it can survive. Only way.
Hmm.
Are you going to pull it off of you?
Right. Yeah.
What if it's going to end up
yeah.
killing you? What if it's going to end up killing you? Do you pull it off of you?
Oh, well, if it's gonna kill me, then no, probably not. You
That's
know.
a bad joke.
But no, I got you. Well, hey, everybody, thank you so much for watching. This is a great time. And we're going to go ahead and sign off with our little song here. And thanks again for watching.
Yeah, we're going to do a sign up called.
Yeah, we can just sign off.
The Progressive House Podcast. Podcast.
My sign up is going to be deuces, motherfuckers.
That's perfect.